The Seahawks had a lot of injuries and are still dealing with injuries. I know we all talked about it when the bye was coming up. Hey, you don't usually want it this early. But now even more so after seeing the 10 to 11 guys that we're going to talk about, does it feel to you like they needed this bye week? They absolutely needed this bye week right now because of how many people were injured?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think that they're getting enough credit for what they're doing. So, and this is one of the things that, was kind of, it wasn't annoying, but the Giants, when I talked to them, I talked to Lance Meadow. Mm-hmm. And, he was talking about, they've had like 3 different iterations of their offensive line. And like, we were down to 1 lineman. So I just don't think enough credit is being given to the Seahawks for what they've done. Their 3-1 record, I think, is phenomenal. Still scratching my head over the LA Ram loss, but yeah, it's just amazing what they've been able to do. So you've got great depth. We'll get into John Schneider and talk about, his last couple of years and things like that. They've been drafting very well, but I think it just speaks to 2 things. Number one, John went and got great depth, and then Pete coaches them up and coaches up his coaches. And, you look at what they did at offensive line. I mean, you would think Geno would be throwing interceptions right and left and getting sacked. And, what did he get sacked twice, I think, the other day against the Giants? And the week before that, I think it was 2. So, yeah, it's phenomenal what they've been doing. But, yeah, I think Bobby Wagner actually had, kind of a little joke about that, how the bye week always looks like it's in the wrong place when you start the season. And then once you get into it, man, I mean, hopefully there's no way Jamal Adams would be back, right, with the concussion. And, I think Abe Lucas is probably going to still be a stretch, but Pete will tell us all about it. But, man, this bye week, it absolutely was like they planned it that way.
Well, I don't know if we need to run down the list of all 11 people, because I think we were counting yesterday when Pete Carroll was just mentioning all the injuries. He was like, Damian Lewis, Phil Haynes, Kobe Bryant, DK Metcalf. We're like, wait, DK? Oh yeah, that's right. And then Jamal Adams and everyone. It was a laundry list. But here was Pete on just the general health of the team coming out of the bye week.
If you remember, I never gripe one way or the other about when the buys come, because you can't do anything about it. So we just try to make the most of it. For us right now, we, like all of the conversations go to, and we have guys having a chance that have been banged up early in the year that have a chance to get back out. And so, we're going to take full advantage of that. We've been making it through with guys stepping up and doing a nice job, and we're really proud of that. But this will give us a chance to get a little healthier, and then we'll try to bank on that as we move forward. You never know how it's going to go, but this is it. It seems like we can take full advantage of it right now, and we'll try to get better.
One of the things that Pete doesn't get credit for is what he says in the very beginning. And Pete has always been this way. He has never. What do they say? I think in the military, you can't refuse the right to accept the situation. You have to accept it, and there's nothing you can do about it. So just put it out of your mind. So instead of in your mind, you're griping about when the bye week is, instead you're thinking about other things, about positive things, about something else that you can do. So yeah, I think a lot of people probably spend time doing that, and that's one of the little things about Pete that makes him such a great coach. But yeah, I don't remember a bye week in the last few years that was more well-timed than this.
And the thing you alluded to, Jamal Adams, so they're not practicing today. The Seahawks are off today. We will not get an update on this, but Pete Carroll made it sound like Jamal Adams is going to be fine, and today is the day that he gets out of that concussion protocol.
He's on the final stage coming up, getting cleared, and pretty promising thought that he will be cleared tomorrow.
That's big.
Yeah, that's huge.
I know people are going to, again, anytime we talk about Jamal Adams, it's that lightning rod of you either feel one way or you feel completely the opposite way about him. But for the small sample size that he had in that Giants game, he was fine all over the field. I mean, he was impactful, and that's big to get him back, it feels like.
Yeah, and let's bring on the haters. It's fine. It's fine. The text line, 866-979-3776.
Just getting right to call out there.
Yeah, powered by Mac and Jack's Brewing Company. Just, I know that there's lots of people that they hate the Jamal Adams trade. And look, if you go back, it did not work out. It did not work out. But I just, the guy's, he's injury prone for whatever reason. He wasn't coming into the trade. That's for sure. And then, you look at same thing with Rashad Penny. Remember, that was the thing about Rashad Penny. He had an impeccable medical record. Didn't move. I think he missed like 1 or 2 games his his freshman year at San Diego State. But yeah, it's kind of like what's going on with Jamal. I just can't. I don't know. I don't know if it's something. We had that quote from KJ, I think, where he was talking about, how you play the game, and maybe, I think I've said before, I think his mind works faster than his body does. And so, he can't keep up with it, maybe. I don't know. It's just hard to understand. He makes a really good tackle and gets hit in the side of the head, and he's out. So did he ever get fined, by the way?
Who?
Jamal, for screaming at the
No.
the official.
I think they looked at it and said they were not going to do anything.
Yeah.
And then everyone was kind of glad about that because what you said and what we talked about, that he doesn't know, he might not know what he was saying.
Yeah.
He might not know what state of mind he's in. So they dismissed any disruption there, any kind of discipline.
I'll tell you what, the one, and I've told the story before. My freshman year, I'm running down a kickoff at UCLA and fall down, go to get back up. Somebody jumps over my head, hits me in this, just like him, knee to the side of the head, not quite even as hard, and I lost 20 minutes. I don't remember. I woke up, and it was like the beginning of the second quarter, and that was the opening kickoff. And, I was standing there next to my brother, and I was trying to get my bearings straight, like, where's mom and dad? Where did we go to high school? I didn't know anything. So, yeah, Jamal Adams, I mean, there's no way the NFL, that would be a bad look if they had, they fine him for being concussed when, that's something that they're very sympathetic about. So anyway, hopefully he doesn't get hurt again. I mean, that's the one thing with Jamal. I mean, other than that, he's a fantastic player. So, but again, with the bye week, I mean, he doesn't play the next week if, especially when you play on a Monday night game. There's no way he would be cleared if there was a game last weekend.
Did you get enough time to recover from the bye? Because that Monday night, that's a long travel back. You guys didn't get the full bye week technically by the time you got back here Tuesday morning.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it just screwed up the days and everything, but it was fine. I mean, the Seahawks, they do everything right, as far as getting the guys on the plane and getting home early and things like that. This week we got the early game, Mike. So I saw on the itinerary I'll be home like 7:00 on Sunday night.
But we're losing you though, sadly.
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, I think they've handled that really well. How whenever they've traveled, the
Lions, they did it this year.
Yep.
I remember the Colts, the season opener, 2021. That was no problem. So.
Yeah, I think they're 14-3 in the early games, and this is going to be an early game. This is a 10 a.m. start. Since Pete got here, or no, it goes back like. I can't remember what year, and you're kind of picking and choosing there.
We're not doing radio math. We've learned our lesson, so let's not dive into that.
Yeah, but if you go back and look, like every year there was 2 or 3 10 a.m. starts, and they've got an incredible record as far as that goes.